All right, now for the trickier next level for intervals, and that is building them based on the first note. And this one will go straight into using key signatures. I apologize for the shadow here. I can't make that stop for some reason, so it's just the lighting at the end of the day, I guess. All right, so the first thing that you're gonna do is the number. Of course, the number does not change. The number describes the lines and spaces. So the arrow will tell you which direction to make the interval, and it's your choice if you want to make it harmonic or melodic. Remember, harmonic is stacked on top of each other like you might see in chords of harmony, and the melodic is next to each other, this direction or this direction, as if you would sing it through a melody. So I'm going to go ahead and use harmonic just to save space, and I have brand new red marker now that the poor little blue marker died, so hopefully that'll be visible enough for you. Okay, so first step is 6 steps up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you'll find in the exercises that you do on musictheory.net that you have a little arrow that you can go up or down, and it'll make that note for you, and then you have to decide if it needs an accidental. That's usually the trickier part of this, because your bottom note might change. Like, what if you're going downward, like in this next line here? You don't have a bottom note to be able to use our process. You're making the bottom note, so there might be a little trial and error. Okay, so now we have our bottom pitch here, which is A. You go over to your cheat sheet and you go upward to F. Does it exist? No, it doesn't. F sharp does though. So in order to make A to this interval a major sixth, I actually need that sharp. Okay. If I just needed a minor sixth, the regular old F would be fine. And the key signature had no bearing because I didn't have any B's in this particular world down here. Okay, so let's do another one. And this one is a minor sixth, so that should be fun. Okay, bottom note is D, and we go up 6 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is, D to a B. So we're gonna go to our chord or our scale chart here. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. So B is within the key signature. So if I change nothing, then this is a major sixth. In order to make it a minor sixth, I need to make them closer together, which means lowering this top note, which means giving it a flat. Okay, why don't you go ahead and give the next one a try on your own. Okay, so we have a perfect interval here, so that should be fun. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's your fourth up. E to A is what you're looking for. If it's perfect, it needs to fit in the key signature. In the key of E, do we have an A natural? We look over here and we find yes, we do. So this is absolutely right. Perfect and major fit just fine. And this happens to be the key signature that's up here, so you don't have any worries there as well. And the next one. Switch to bass clef. Okay, so hopefully you found 1, 2, 3 up would be here. And you're looking for a major third, so you need to fit within F. And again, if you need to, throw those note names in there. This is not an A, it's an A flat, thanks to the key signature. An F to an A flat, if you check over here, is a minor third. For F to have a major third above it, it needs to be an A natural. Oh, I shouldn't have written that on that side. Oopsies. Should have done the note names on the other side, my apologies, because I need to squeeze a natural in there. This belongs here. Sorry about the mess. No way to edit that out because I'm low tech on paper right now. Okay, so major third up from F is an A natural. We needed that natural to raise it back up again. Try the next one on your own. Hi there, Coda. Our bottom note is an A. We count up 6 from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Currently we have an A to an F sharp because of this key signature. We go back to here, we find A. Is F sharp in that key signature? Why, yes it is. So this by itself is a major interval. We need a minor one. In order to make this F sharp lower, to make it a minor interval closer together, we need to cancel out that sharp. And there you have it. Let's do one more line of practicing here. And this time they are going downward. All of these are relatively easy if you did your job on the other video and that stuff was making sense, because we're used to working off of that bottom pitch and figuring out what to do above it. But when it's descending, you're finding that bottom pitch. So there might be a little bit of trial and error. I'll show you how. Sometimes it just is a matter of adding one extra step to the process. So I'll just do the first one with you. We start out always with the number. 1, 2, 3, down a third. We'll land somewhere on that space. Let's just double check what we currently have. And this is where using a pencil is helpful in case you need to erase anything if you're working on your own. But right now what we currently have is A flat to C. A flat to C. And this is the note we get to change, not this one. So I'm going to put it on this side this time so that I remember. So I might need to put something on this side. So I have A flat to C. Is that a minor third? A flat, B flat, C. That would be a major third. So this time, to make them closer together, I'm not going to be able to lower this one, but I can raise this one. Okay, so I'm going to raise it from an A flat to an A natural. So we're going to get rid of that flat. And now we have our minor third. And then this doesn't apply anymore. Try the next one on your own. Okay, so we're still in treble clef. Sorry, I covered it so you can see. We're still in treble clef. This is your C, and we are going downward a major second. So I'm going to do this one melodically because it makes more sense that way. A little easier to see. Okay, so we know that is descending by a second of some kind. We need to keep in mind our key signature up here. We have B flats in the key signature. So this is technically a B flat right now. B flat to C is what's on the page. Let's check to see if that's a major second or not. B flat to C, why yes it is. It is a major second and we don't need to adjust anything. Give the next one a try. Still in treble clef. Perfect intervals are always just a little easier because they're perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your fifth down. Eventually you stop counting because you recognize that a space to a space while skipping the one in the middle is a fifth, or a line to a line. You start seeing the patterns a little quicker. Okay, so we're going down by a fifth. Let's make sure, if we're looking at our letter names, we have F sharp to C sharp, because both of those notes are in the key signature. F sharp to C sharp, if we check back here, we do indeed find it fits in the key signature, and that makes it perfect. Perfect and major fit in the key signature. Try one in the bass clef. And first things first, we're down by a third. And just like I mentioned in the fifths before, thirds you always notice start going space to space or line to line. You start really recognizing the patterns. Okay, and there is no key signature here, so we're in C major or A minor. No key signature to deal with. We just have G to B. G to B. Currently, if you look it up, I don't know why I have trouble finding these. It's just in a different order than I think every time. There it is. So G to B. B is in the major scale for G, so it should be a major third as it is right now. We need to make it closer together to become a minor third. So since we cannot lower the top note, because the bottom note is what we're building off of, since we cannot lower the top note, we must raise the bottom note. So instead of a regular old G, we get a G sharp. Last one. Okay, we're back to a perfect one for the last one. Always nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's your fourth. And we check it. We have F to B flat. F to B flat. If you look it up, over here, there it is. B flat fits in the key signature. It's perfect. We're good to go. Okay, so practice these on your own, the building of the intervals. As you do this, know that the stuff that you're applying right now directly applies to what we're doing next week with triads. And once you hit triads, you're talking chords, you're talking chordal analysis, you get into some really interesting stuff. So if it feels like grunt work right now, kind of is, but it does start to make a lot more sense and have a lot more application starting next week. So stick with it. Okay, so practice these as much as you possibly can. You've got both the building kinds and the identification kinds, and off you go.